All right. Hey, Pastor John here, Belmont Church in Southeast Roanoke, and we actually have some pretty exciting news that we'd like to share with our community. A couple years ago, we felt the prompting of the Lord to do something crazy, which is to sell our church building. And so a lot of people have asked, why would you sell your church? And what we respond by saying is, well, we're not selling the church, we're selling the building. And so initially that was a prompting just that we felt the Lord was leading us to do. And then shortly after that, logically speaking, some things began to come into play to help us understand why we might need to do that. A couple of those reasons were just that we have a heart for our community to reach people, to serve people, and to do what God has called us to do. And we want to spend less and less of our time working on a 50,000 square foot building, which for us right now is located at 825 Stewart Avenue here in Southeast Roanoke. Less of our time doing that and more of our time freed up to reach our neighbors, love our community, reach our city. And so that sounds pretty exciting to us. I don't know about you. Another thing that we're actively pursuing is that we are pursuing what we call a micro church network here in Roanoke. And so what does that mean? Well, that basically what that boils down to is that it's a different way of seeing and being the church. And so a lot of churches can sometimes operate more like a producer kind of a model of church, where on one end there's producers that are producing a service for the weekend, and on the other end are consumers, church people that might just show up and participate in some singing or receive a teaching. But there's also a platform style of operating. So it's kind of the difference between a hotel and an Airbnb. So hotel, more producer, is producer model or pipeline model, which is, hey, there's a producer at one end and the customers show up at the other end. Airbnb is a platform where people can be consumers and producers as part of Airbnb. So that means that somebody could go and rent out an apartment somewhere and stay there and then come back home and go, hey, I could do that here. And so we're pursuing church in that same way of saying that's actually how the church operated for the first 300 years after Jesus. There were no church buildings like this. And so we're not doing something new. We're actually just doing something really super old, which is we are meeting in homes and in establishments all across our city. We're still coming together occasionally for some amazing worship times together, but we're training folks to know how to do this on their own and how to operate truly as kingdom citizens and not just consumers. And so that's what we're about, that's what we're doing, and that's why we've sold the building to Belmont Lofts. This place will now become what looks like will be some affordable housing for people in our community, which is a huge need right now, and so we feel really good about that.